Cross ExAnime, episode 118. I'm Justus. That's Matt. We're talking about our B-list of shows today.
Tomo-chan is a girl. The magical revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the genius young lady. Spy Classroom in Spector Season 2, which is just Justice. And NieR Automata Ver1.1a running on Linux 94.
Starting off.
Yo, that animation looks like it's running on Windows 94.
We'll get to there. So we're starting this week off with Tomo-chan as a girl.
June, whatever they call him in the show, our main boy on there. It confuses me because he knows he's a girl, but then it also is like doesn't know he's a girl, so he's definitely hiding his feelings for Tomo-chan. Then he knows she's a girl. And that boy definitely wants to dick her down.
Yes.
100% the boy wants to dick her down on there.
Yeah.
But Mizui is definitely stealing the show, I feel like, from Tomo-chan, because I feel like in the last two, we're watching episodes 1 through 4 for Tomo-chan as for people. Go ahead.
The side characters are the best part. Both the chick you were talking about and Carol, I enjoy so much when they're on screen. It adds so much more.
I mean, they're all right.
No, they're significantly the best part of this show.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself. Tomo-chan
I am not the only one who thinks that either.
You just like ditzy blondes that don't do anything.
No.
Yes, it's true. Anytime there's a female in the show and it's a ditzy blonde, you're like, oh my god, she's the best thing since sliced bread.
What about Misuzu? I said she's also really good on screen too.
Yeah, you're just trying to cover up your thing.
No.
On there. You definitely have a type, and that type is ditzy blondes.
No.
Who do you pick for best girl of the year? Justice.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? You picked
Pretty sure.
You picked the girl from Shikamori. Well, you changed it.
Oh, well, she was one of the nominations.
Ditzy blonde. Boom.
Just the side characters are so much fun when they're on screen. Whether it's some stupidness, like Carol, of course, does dumb stuff, but it's all for comedic effect.
Did you know the show is a certified MILF?
Yeah,
the mom on there.
I know you were gonna bring it up.
What?
Yeah,
the overly powered mom and how amazing she is on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the moment when you first see the mom, it's in like episode 1 for a split second.
Well, yeah, you only see her for like half a second on there. It's like, there's the mom. Definitely like her daughter on there. Well, mother was like daughter.
Yeah, but even the moment when I saw the mom, I was like, oh, Matt's going to like this.
I like a powerful female lead. What's so wrong with that on there? That also her husband.
Apparently you have a type.
Listen, well, it's not like ditzy blondes on there. Sorry, I have a actual good pick on there, not just a basic pick on there.
Yeah, whatever.
You can say whatever, it's true. But the dad is like, oh, my husband hasn't come inside for months. And every time he sees me, he gets embarrassed. And June's like, oh, is that a little adorable? And Tomo's like, no, it's not. I don't remember exactly what she said. She's like, it's lame. And it's like, nah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Still in love with her on there. Like, oh, you're late for practice. And the mom walks in and is like, maybe I'll just pass out in the side of the dojo. Ugh.
Yeah, you also see a little bit of a flashback. Apparently, she used him as like a bodyguard.
Literally, there was a point where it's like the show has pretty decent animation quality. Then there's like 4-second scene where it's like out of the world, like Attack on Titan. Like, yeah, he used to protect me all the time, and it's just him, like 20 feet tall, smoke screen, 20-pack on there, walking in like she's like some evil demon lord. I want to see that love story now. I want a season 0.5, which is just the mom and the dad.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We did get an unexpected scene. The Tomo was groped on a train, and I wasn't expecting
she was
that.
Getting assaulted, and her first thought, kind of adorable, but for the wrong reasons, like, I don't want June to find out. And then he just basically got rid of the guy.
Yeah, well, the guy got arrested. But yeah, that was one of those like, oh, we're doing sexual assault? Was
that episode 1?
No, I think it was like episode 2. 2 or 3.
She definitely got molested on a train. Hey, tell you what, we're in Japan, we could be the heroes they need. Well, why do you say no before I finish what I was saying? Do you think I was going to say we're going to molest someone? No, we could be the heroes that beat up a molester.
I don't Only if it's obvious that we're like being the good guys and not just the random mean foreigners.
I beat you up once again. How many times we gotta teach you this, old man? Beat some random Japanese guy on there.
So there was a little bit of a groping going on, and God, there's just been like these 4 episodes. There was a lot that happened.
Well, yeah, it's 4 episodes.
Yes. Some shows that there are 4 episodes or
also,
3
is Carol
episodes.
actually married or engaged to him?
Yes.
Well, they said it, then they kind of just never mentioned it again. It's like, so is Carol and this dude actually married on there?
Well,
or
the fiance.
They said married.
Well,
They said married.
She says married.
3 separate times.
Yes, she says that.
They said they've been married 3 times.
She said
yes.
That. And he goes, "We're not. We are like scheduled or arranged marriage. She's my fiance."
Ditzy blonde marries ditzy blonde with blonde hair, blue eyes.
That's
definitely a very German couple on there.
You do get the specific scene of like him kind of doting on her, but more like a little sister, and that's where she's like, he's an idiot because he's not seeing her exactly as like an equal.
It's not like we're blood related or anything.
Well, it's not even like that. You're taking that.
You got a sister
like,
complex and you know it.
No, I just like trashy shit. It's fun to watch.
Why can't I think of the name of it? Oh my god, my stepmom's daughter is my ex.
Yeah, it's
domestic
trashy.
Girlfriend. Now Tomo-chan.
Well, Tomo-chan, they're not related. Like at no point
Treats
are they
her like
related.
a little sister on there.
Just because he treats
Justice
someone,
knows his true intentions of
whatever.
this.
Shut up.
You know I'm right.
You are absolutely wrong. It's just that specific scene shows that like he's not showing her as an equal, and that's one of the things that's definitely going to come back up in the next like episode or 2, which is why Carol has Misuzu sit there during that to see what's going on to help her with it. It's what that entire scene was about.
Listen, all I know is Carol's a trash character. She can't commit to anything on there. She committed for all of about 20 seconds to try and take down Tomo-chan because she thought she was going to take away her fiance. Found out that Tomo-chan's into June and is like, give up on there.
Yeah, why would you continue a fight when it's clearly a misunderstanding? What would be the point of creating a rivalry and then realizing, I'm wrong, but I'm going to continue
there's more
it
to
anyways.
it. She ran 10 feet, gave up on there. Did not even one sit-up. They put way too much animation to this gym scene. You know what I'm talking about.
You do a pull-up.
What? Sit-up.
Well, yeah. How many sit-ups could you do?
I could probably do like 100.
Shut up.
You shoot for 100, you get 50,
You
25 good ones. I'm shooting for 100 on. How many could you do on there?
15.
Listen,
max.
she is in shape. She should be able to do those sit-ups on there. They also put way too much animation quality into the gym scene. If you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about on there, especially when it's like, I can jump rope. I'm like, god damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we really going here?
Yeah, he looks away.
Yeah, I mean, he looks straight up on there. It's like, yeah, my man. My man's got respect on it. He respects women. That's what June's going to be best boy this entire season.
No, he's mid.
You're mid. Who do you think is best boy? See, can't even think of one on there.
Thorfinn.
Listen, once you start watching Buddy Daddies, you also have a best boy.
No, Thorfinn.
Thorfinn?
Best man. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Vinland Saga.
You'd
You'd know if you finished it.
you know what? 1. Fuck you. I'm going to sit out Vinland Saga now. You can watch it all by yourself.
Okay.
Which means you have to watch so much next week on there. Listen, I say that because I still have to edit the award show and catch up on there. And that probably ain't going to happen. I do have 3 days off, though. Besides that, though, there's a scene when you realize, listen, Tomo's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
When there are rules, June has admitted he can beat Tomo-chan in the gym. When there's no rules, she'll just kick his ass every single time on there.
Yes.
And then you get to see that 2 episodes later when that random creep is hitting on the other 2 girls that she's scared. Not important about her backstory. She kicks him, the dude flies like 20 feet, and the next scene he's like all bandaged up like he broke some ribs. And I'm like, are they going to elaborate more on this? And then June beats those guys up when they're planning to attack Tomo-chan. I was like, no,
Yeah.
my boy cares.
You also get with a throwaway comment that it's been like that since middle school because she's continuously picked fights. And then in the background, he beats the shit out of them again.
Yeah.
So
he's been protecting her for a while on there.
Yeah.
Also, he needs to listen, he was respectful with his eyes when they were doing the gym thing. My boy was trying to sneak a peek when it was raining, and he was like, Tomo-chan was under the umbrella.
Well, no.
She was getting all wet. Yeah.
He noticed, and then he ran away.
Yeah.
Like a coward.
That boy, her eyes are up here. Respect woman justice.
See, this is why he can't be best boy. Absolute trash, degenerate of a human being.
What? He can't be best boy.
No.
He's protecting her behind the scenes.
Not when he's staring.
Oh, when you're over there, like, oh my God.
He's just doing it to take advantage of her. Put himself in a better position.
You're over here like, oh my God, like my boy from Eminence and Shadow was best boy. Oh, he's so cool.
I didn't even have him on the list.
Yeah, right. We know you wanted to put him on it. But you're afraid you were going to get judged.
No.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't put the boy from my stepmom's daughter as my ex.
No.
Or my stepmom's daughter as my ex. I think I said stepdaughters.
No, you had it right the first time.
That would be weird. Stepdaughter? I said stepdaughter. It's not his stepdaughter on there. That would be weird.
Yeah. But the show overall has been pretty good. One of the biggest surprises is with Tomo-chan herself. The actual character is voiced by Rei Takahashi, who does Megumin and a bunch of the figures behind. Shut up, you like.
Oh, so you meant that she's good.
Well, no, just the fact that like you say mid, though she's your favorite voice actress, and you have.
I never said she's my favorite voice actress.
No, you just.
Vic Mignogna's my favorite voice actor.
I said actress.
Yeah, but he can play women too. So
shut up. She uses a much deeper voice in this.
Yeah,
like a significantly deeper
voice actor on there.
Yeah, it was just surprising when kind of looking up on my anime list where it's like, who voices this? And it's like, typically most of them have a fairly unique voice. This one was just.
Also, I will say my favorite voice actress is Hirano. She voices Haruhi Suzumiya. It was one of the first shows I watched. It's not trashy, but like there is some trashy stuff inside of it on there. But I mean, so far, I think the show deserves what it deserved on there. I think that Tomo is a princess and she should be protected on there. Speaking of princesses, some people that needs to be protected. Wow, this woman's taller than me. You must be an ogre. I feel like every woman I've brought up in any of these shows that are taller than you call them an ogre. I'm sorry that you're just, Farquaad, chill the fuck out.
I'm not. Improvise.
No, Improvise too short to be Farquaad on there.
It's a deep cut.
The magical revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius and Leggy. That is our second show we're talking about today on there. I gotta say one thing real quick. I'm not saying Prince Algard is wrong. I'm not saying he's right. But he definitely went after what his dick was thinking and not his heart was thinking. My man, that's a prince.
No, that's an idiot.
Listen, he went after Cyan. Not going to bother pronouncing her name the right way on there because her name is the color of ink cartridge. She is Cyan. People need to know. So he was engaged to Yuffie. She has a full name, but I'm not going to pronounce her full name.
Euphelia?
No, I was going to say like Euphelia Magenta. Are they all just ink cartridge names?
Probably.
Cyan, Magenta.
Coral.
Well, Claret. That's not an... I was saying ink cartridge, Justice. Coral is not an... Oh,
it's a color.
Hey, Justice, go to Office Max and pick me up Coral.
You can.
It sounds like you have a fucking lisp and you're trying to say, hey, do you have Coral cartridges?
Maybe. Might be able to.
Were you going to keep going on the list trying to figure out if any of them were ink cartridges?
I was
on a slightly different note on
it.
Whatever. So Algard was engaged to Yuffie, but then decided to break it off and dick down Cyan.
Yes. A commoner, mind you.
Commoner.
And he's supposed to be the king.
Now her financial status has to play a role.
Well, when you're royalty, it's important.
But what if he actually loves her?
He doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't love her. But makes up a whole story how she murdered someone and like tried to plot that over the king. Doesn't matter on there. Because the best part is when Yuffie gets saved by Ans. They shortened both their names, whatever.
Yeah.
And she saves her by crashing her broom in, picks her up like, I'm going to save you. You're mine. It's like, oh, lesbians on there. And then literally like a couple scenes later, Yuffie's like, yeah, you're going to be mine. She's like, oh, don't touch me.
Yeah. Look, Yuffie is a very smart individual. So for someone who's consistently making stuff like that's imbued in magic, like having one of the smartest people around your age is going to
really
be helpful.
good at magic. Yeah. So you kind of get a small relationship.
Yeah. Also, they do specifically show that like what is it? Anisphenia. That
There's no L in there.
Huh?
Anisphenia.
Anisphenia. Sorry. I got it now. The
it looks like what it said about the laptop was right.
You get a flashback, and she's like, when I grow up, I don't want to marry a man. I want to marry a woman. And it's like, oh, cool. So we have one character that, like, there's no pretending. She's totally gay, which is kind of nice.
No, she just, because she later, see, you get this thing where someone, like, gives a small hint of, like, maybe they're gay. And you're like, they're 100% gay. Because they literally say in this scene is, why did you say that? She's like, I just didn't want to accidentally get pregnant. That is literally a quote. I have it written down here, Your Honor. I might even have the timestamp. I don't have the timestamp because I didn't care enough. But I wrote it down.
No, she's very
Still, when didn't you watch? Just like Mika and what's his name from Like Horse Recoil.
Mika's gay.
They weren't gay. So when we're in Japan and I get out of the shower and I'm in my bathrobe and then you're in your bathrobe with someone else, does that make us gay? No one ever kissed.
You wanted.
No one ever. Listen, then we're going to the bars. You're saying everything we're gonna do in Japan is gonna make us gay.
By the way, the genres is fantasy and girls love, which is the gay genre.
No, just because two people love each other doesn't mean they're gay.
Keep lying to yourself.
Free is BL. Does that mean they're gay?
Huh?
Does that mean they're gay? Two people can love each other and not be gay. I love my cat. Does that make me gay?
Well, that's different. That's bestiality.
Besides that, on that little tangent there, Ans or Anis. I forgot to write down how she actually pronounced her name on there. Usually I try and like put what it actually is. The big thing with her is she is reincarnated. They don't. I like this show because it still starts fantasy.
Yeah.
There's only like a small hint. Well, not hint, but she makes a small one-liner. Like, when I was reincarnated here, I wanted to learn to fly. It's like, oh, cool. Mm-hmm. It gives you the idea that's reincarnated, but it is a good fantasy. I feel like they just kind of made this a straight up fantasy. But the problem is she's making like electric kettles. What'd she have? She had an electric kettle. She had a Dremel on the wall. She had a blowtorch. She had a blowtorch. She had an impact drill. And I was like, oh. So she's just remaking everything from like our world, but imbued with magic.
Yeah. Her memory is fuzzy from when she was living in the regular human world. But
they also make a note. Well, not make a note, but they point out like the king's like staff or whatever is like, this could be bad. We should get rid of her. It's like she's literally making you tools that you could make into guns. But obviously she hasn't made guns yet. She wants to make useful tools for everybody there.
Yeah. Though the king is like, nah, I'm not going to get rid of him. And that man condones child abuse.
He doesn't condone child abuse.
Well, he sure has no problem hitting his child.
Listen.
In front of other people. The prime minister of the country.
Your child walks in front of like other people in your country with a bag full of dead wolves' hats covered in blood. Hold up. And she's been murdering stuff all night when she was told not to because she could die. What do?
You don't try to punch them in the face.
He wasn't going to punch him in the face. He was going to give her a nice bop on the back of the head.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a playful bop on there. It's
he
like
sure had no problem doing more than a playful bop the next time you see him on the screen.
She crashed into the middle of the castle riding a broom. She wasn't supposed to ride. It's restricted airspace, Justice. You know it.
You're making up a whole lot of excuses for a man that beats his daughter.
At least it's not like you met your girlfriend.
He
doesn't beat her. He gives her a small smack on there. Because if he were to spank her, you'd be like, ooh, he sexually assaults his daughter.
No.
You would totally say that.
No.
Just to spite me.
I don't know, maybe. But we do get kind of interesting exchanges between both the prince and the prime minister, who the prime minister is Euphelia's dad.
Yes.
And
I don't think he's a prime minister.
He's the prime minister. So they have both the king and the prime minister. It's basically mimicking England. He's like, they make the comment specifically that calling off the engagement was very stupid, especially the way the prince did it. But just because the princess renounced her right to the throne doesn't mean that she still can't
become queen.
Yes.
He said there's different ways.
Yes.
So there's other ways. It's like, what ways? Leave it vague. Next scene.
Mm-hmm. Probably insinuating that if he marries his daughter, or she marries the daughter.
You want them to be gay.
You are very oblivious.
I'm not oblivious. They just like each other
so
as
by
friends.
the end of the season,
it's not like a Dachi. No, it's not like a Dachi and Shimamura where it's like one of them is definitely gay on there. The other one's kind of like, I'm finding out.
Yeah. You're a blind man. I don't know what to tell you.
That you're wrong on there. There is a point where that one of the funniest scenes in it, I don't know, I laughed when it happened when Yuffie was first there that night. She's like, coming to my bed. And she's like, I don't want to. It's like, no, it's not like that, I swear. She's trying to get close to her assistant on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, also, just saying, the maid, certified MILF.
I don't think the maid has kids. Can't be a MILF.
Sure you can. Listen.
Unless it's a maid I'd like to fuck.
MILF. There you go. Yeah. Maid. God, is that the new title of an anime?
No, God.
The maid I fucked and I got reincarnated into the other world.
No, that'd be weird.
You do? Okay, so there is one character you see for only like a fraction of a second, then you don't see her for like 2 more episodes. So for people that don't know, we watched 3 episodes of this.
Yeah.
On there. It's Tilty. Yeah, you see her for like 30, 40 seconds, and then they just kind of play her off after that.
Make like the
she's
broom.
She has helped with the broom on there. That's pretty much what happened in that show of itself on there. But I know I'm excited to see where the series goes. I think so far we've picked a lot of winners.
Yes.
There's not too many shows that are losers on there. Kind of like, the guy in Spy Classroom that lost to them.
That you're stretching.
Hey, at least I have transitions.
They aren't good ones.
Oh, so we're watching Spy Classroom. We watched episodes.
Spy Classroom.
We watched 4 episodes of Spy Classroom.
Yo,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, this show is probably the weakest one this week.
I don't know. I like this show a lot. Also, it's really weird because the pacing of the show went very, very quick. I'm like, are they going to do a flashback of this impossible mission thing? And then they eventually do a flashback to kind of fill it. So basically the story that happened within an episode and a half, almost 2 episodes, really happened over the course of 4 episodes.
Yes.
On there with flashbacks and everything. Real quick, there are 7 girls in this show that are sent on an impossible mission. The impossible mission is stealing back a chemical weapon that their own country developed, but then they play it off as like, how could they possibly make a chemical weapon? It's like, that we made. But that's not the point. They'll actually use it.
It will kill millions. You made something that will kill millions.
This is the America standard of like, well,
how
we have nukes. How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically they have to send these 7 girls to go steal it back on there. And it's a lot of familiar voice actresses. I feel like the more we do this, we are seeing more of our favorite voice actresses, even though they changed their voice up. But then in the middle of episode 2, surprise, there's an 8th girl. Sorry that I ruined that for everybody, but
wasn't that episode 3?
Whatever. There was a point.
It was near the end of episode 3 because then episode 4 just focuses heavily on her. Yeah, that's a tiny little girl hidden in a backpack.
How come I always get the shittiest jobs over here? Correction. Foam came out of the backpack, making the guy that they're fighting think like, oh, it's a chemical weapon. It's all right. It did nothing to me. It's like, nope, here's just a girl hidden in the backpack, which has got to suck.
Yeah. What's your job? Get in the bag.
Get in the bag, stab the man. I'm sure listen, the whole point, like at one point, like, I'm always a 1/10 of a second slower than him. I'm like, they're going to mention something later in the show where the guy's going to be a 1/10 of a second slower. Then he gets stabbed. My movements are only a 1/10 of a second slower now. It's like, shut up, man. Like, come on.
Look, my big thing is with the main girl and the leader of the group, Lily. She specializes in like poisons and has a special ability where she kind of just doesn't get poisoned.
Yeah, that's a very big point. Like she is, well, it's not all poison. So far, there's like certain types of poisons she can't be poisoned by, which is why really dark past, there was a chemical attack on her village.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the only one that survived because she can breathe through it on there. And it's like, oh man, it's kind of really dark.
But like, I'm confused because of course I'm sure we'll figure it out like throughout the episodes. But all of these girls have this super unique ability, and we know two of them. One, Lily can like just not be affected by certain poisons and is really good at making poison. Honestly, she probably just could remanufacture the shit they stole at this point. And then Erna.
Well, the whole point was that the stuff they're trying to steal back hasn't been fully reverse developed.
But Erna, the 8th member, her special thing is that she can sense bad things happening.
No, she can sense when bad things are going to happen, but she's constantly followed by bad events too. So
yeah, but I don't think that's like that's one of those like what? It's so weird. Like
you're gonna say that's weird. It's a girl that can Mission Impossible her face. Like I'm so good at making like impressions, I can fake my face. Then you have a girl that can't be poisoned on there, and this is what you're concerned. She can Spidey senses
because
Spider-Man's trash because she can sense danger.
Well, no, because with the mask thing, there's of course like it's not super believable, but it's within the realm of reality. And then you get this one person where it's like, I can just sense that thing right there is totally gonna fall and break and cause you harm. Or the car accident, like all of these misfortunes will follow me.
I bet you hate Sherlock Holmes.
No, because at least with Sherlock Holmes, there's like logic behind it.
Maybe that's her. She just knows by the humidity in the air plus like the structural integrity of that like steel beam.
She murdered a school.
She didn't murder a school. There's no proof.
She's the only one that lived.
Show me the photo evidence on there.
Wow, man, they did cut to a burning building. Lots of dead children.
Listen, you think that's the weirdest power? Thea? What's your power? I'm a whore.
Yeah.
She's not a whore. Her power is like seduction on there.
Yeah. That's still within the realm of believability. If an attractive person is like, my power is people are attracted to me, says the attractive person, it's going to be like, yeah, no shit. Versus that one creepy girl over in the corner where it's like, I'm going to walk across the street and some bad shit's going to happen behind me. That
you just want to hate the show, don't you? You're doubling down on you hating the blonde girl because I called you out like blonde.
It's not even that. It's just it's the only thing with the show that is so like extra out there. Besides the like greatest assassin in an instant being able to fucking open 7 locks. Whatever.
Listen, it was cool. It's like, yo, this man's so good. It's like, listen, I like it a lot because like, how did you do it? Teach us. I don't know. I just do it instinctively. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's fucking amazing. This dude can just do it instinctively. You are. In the words of a great warrior poet, you're fucked.
Oh.
Listen, I will say Lily is kind of dumb because at one point she goes to poison their teacher on the boat. Mm-hmm. But the teacher shackled her.
Yeah.
It's like a whole 2-3 minute standoff of like, why I can't move to undo your shackles, and you don't know how to undo the shackles yourself. How are we going to get out of this sinking boat? Because he activated the boat to sink. You better paddle like your life depends on it, because it literally does.
Yeah. It's fine. The poison will wear off in 10 minutes. Well, unfortunately, we have 5 before the boat sinks. Paddle like your life depends on it.
I like the show.
I think it's fine. Some stuff just goes too far out there.
That's the whole point. It's supposed to be kind of an out there show. Listen,
I assumed with spies there'd be some grounding.
If you go to my anime list, the one thing I hate though is that one of them on there, her name is Eve.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a supporting character. Not saying she shouldn't be on there, but literally Professor Sensei, Master, whatever you call him, has more screen time than she does. He's not, he's not immediately listed. But the Eve character is like, oh man, they got this like Western spy that like no one's heard of. It's like, oh, she must be super, super good. Immediately dies.
Mm-hmm. They stabbed in the throat.
No, I'm not. Not Sensei isn't Claus. Claus is their teacher. I'm talking about Claus's teacher.
Oh, Guido?
Yeah. Whatever his name is. But like Eve immediately was there. You're trapped. There's no way out. Then Claus sets off the traps, kills most of the guards, and she's like, when did you have time to set that? It's like, he's just that good. You didn't see it. I eat that shit up.
The one thing that I was surprised with in that scene was, and I just had mentioned this a moment ago, he walks by and he stabs her in the throat.
And then leaves her to bleed out. And I was well, first I was like, is she going to live? Because he never went back to make sure that she was actually dead.
No, she's totally going to die.
Maybe she didn't bleed out in time. Maybe.
No, she did.
And then he tortures the other guard, which I assume he just killed.
Probably.
I expect answers. I don't know. I like it a lot. I think the show is funny. They did get that kind of like cheesy emotional thing of like, I thought you all went back to your schools. That was a joke. We caught you like dead hand, like they're about to kill him. It's like, what's your demand? Teach us more. Since I'm like, no. I honestly thought this was going to end up like an assassination classroom type thing where it's like, what's the impossible mission? Kill me. I totally thought that's where it was going to. I mean, come on, dude. It honestly felt like that.
Yeah, a little bit. Just because his big thing was like, oh, to get better, you just have to make me say I surrender. And then at one point, one of their first things that they try to do is fucking capture him while he's in the bathroom, and the man just like a fucking
dude. You know what would have been a great homage? Obviously, they couldn't animate it in time. Is if he took the towel and just slapped himself with it. Sensei, cover up. No, a man doesn't care what others think when he's nude. Walks out. Just. I don't. Also, I will say the main character girl. Does she sound familiar at all? Lily? Don't click on her profile.
There's a couple of them that sound familiar. Two of the girls are Quints.
Lily plays Chizuru and Aqua, and we're about to watch it. Saki from like the Won't Leave Me Alone show, and she played Nasuna from Call of the Night. She's been playing a lot of main roles.
Yeah.
Also Mariko.
Sarah, the like super small short-haired girl that always wears a hat. Plays Miku and Quince, and then I think it's Erna or Annette. One of those two is also
a Quince.
Yeah, a Quint. It's Futaba.
Futaba
or Yotsuba. Sorry,
I was like, is this like a Futuru Yotsuba mesh? Like Futaba. Oh,
my brain turned off a little bit.
Good thing you didn't say the other thing that starts with Futa.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate what that would be?
No, you're not old enough. You'll learn when
you're
more mature.
Hey, you know what's great about these girls? They're like inspectors. Like they search for clues and stuff.
Yo,
that's your cue. Justice watched Inspector season 2. I refuse to watch it because I think the show is trash. Has it gotten any better, Justice?
Yes.
No, there's no way it's gotten better. You mean yes, and it's her cat? Like
yeah, no. I mean it's legitimately
it went from dog tier show to like somewhat dog tier.
Its current rating is 7.52. It has a whole point score higher than Spy Classroom.
Copium.
I mean, you're not watching it, so you can't judge it. So
yes, I can.
No, you can only sit there and shut the fuck up. So the first season ended kind of whack. Lots of exposition. This season, though, within the first 3 episodes, which is all I watched, the first episode was a little bit more return to kind of normalcy, a reintroduction kind of thing. It doesn't immediately hop back into it, but she helps exercise a spirit, like a weird sumo demon spirit that it was there to protect the grounds, but the doll that it was trapped to was in an apartment, so it was scaring the neighbors. Something, fairly simple and easy. You get kind of reacquainted. It does a good job of reminding you that her boyfriend, the dude who really still doesn't want to be her boyfriend, actually ate to a yokai, so a mermaid and what is it?
I don't know. You watched it?
I forget what the other one is, but essentially he can see the future and is immortal. So whenever he dies, he can pick the correct path and like.
If you can see the future, you might as well just have chosen the right path to begin with.
Well, no, he has to die to be able to see the future.
Ah, so I see we're just stealing off of ReZero.
No. I mean, the problem is ReZero resets back to a specific point. This man dies and goes, okay, I just need to pick this path. And then
because you made it sound like he revived back where he was. So
in the moment.
So he can only see the future when he's dead.
Yes.
Oh, that's dumb.
He's immortal.
Might as well just shoot himself might as Kurt Cobain himself every morning and be like, that's the path I need to take.
Yeah, but specifically whatever path is necessary, he with that power of seeing the future, he can make that path the future that needs to be like done. So he essentially has some level of control over time. So that was kind of the first episode, just the main reintroduction. The big surprise was episode 2 doesn't actually involve our two main characters at all. Like, they're just like a side blip in it.
They ran out of budget.
No. So it starts with a mountain climber in the snow during a blizzard. His friend like pushes him off a cliff, and
is he still really his friend at that point then?
Well, no, but he was left there to die, and what's called a Yuki Onna spirit like appears and saves his life. In the morning he makes it down the mountain because she basically flies him there, and then while the friend is speaking to the police of like, oh, he just fell, he lost his footing. Of course, he opens up the door and he's like, this motherfucker tried to kill me.
Man, I would double down and be like, nope, this dude definitely tripped.
It turns out the reason why the friend did that is the chick that he was into was super into him, but the guy didn't even recognize who the chick was, and he was just so mad about like the fact that someone that he was interested in him and he didn't care, that he just fucking pushed him over the side of like a cliff. And it's like, yo, that's fucked. But it does like a flash forward, I think like 10 or 11 years to the current times, and he goes back to the area, the town next to where she saved his life. The Yuki Onna is there because she tries to mingle among humans, not looking like a spirit every so often, just to get ice cream, essentially. Then there's this whole,
how do you
like,
not look like a spirit? She just untransparents herself?
I mean,
what do you mean unlooks like? Because I'm looking at the picture of her and she looks like someone you would just kind of maybe see.
Normally there's like a big,
yukata?
Yeah, kind of a glow aura about her. She can like, has ice powers essentially.
So basically, as long as she doesn't Mr. Freeze someone, she can go get ice cream.
When you see her specifically in there, she's wearing like modern clothing and everything else. So it's not just someone that is specifically standing out.
So she just changes her clothes to...
It's more than that.
It sounds like she just
it's more than that. Maybe if you watched it, you'd understand that, but it's more than that.
I'm just trying to understand because it just seems like all it is.
Yeah, well, you clearly have more thought capacity than that. But there's a big kind kind of murder mystery going on, because the police eventually arrive at his house after the Yuki Onna and that gentleman, Masayuki, basically kind of lived together sort of for like 3 months or whatever, because he was kicked out of the business that he started, and his wife also tried to kill him. He's had some real shit luck. So he just was going to be a recluse and just kind of live in that area, not really worry about anything. But the wife was murdered, and he's the number one suspect. And the one night when she was murdered, the only one who can corroborate that is the Yuki Onna. And they can't exactly have, like, a spirit, like, a snow kind of spirit walk into the police station and go, yeah, no, I was with them all night, drinking beer and, like, having teriyaki and shit. So that's when we finally get reintroduced back to our two main characters. And it's kind of where it left off. So the first episode was more normal, but the last two, like, yeah, it was good storytelling.
I don't know, I think I made the right call not watching it at all.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because what's obviously the best show this season?
Not
NieR Automata version 1.1a. You know why? Because we got some hot girls.
We got 4 episodes, and we won't talk about it the next time.
That's right. Hey, despite that,
it's so
listen,
good,
you know
it's
why?
delayed.
You know why? You only need 4 episodes to tell this story on there, because it's just that good.
I'm confused.
It's just that good. Listen, also, I completely forgot that the pods, there's 2 robots. Pod 042, hang on, I gotta say something. Pod 042, pod 153.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, oh, cool, the pods are talking. I thought they just reused people. Now, like, each pod is like, sorry, I'm pulling it up on there. Each pod person, let me pull up the other one.
They're different voice
One of
actors.
them, the female pod, has done like nothing, but the male pod guy has done like a fuckload of stuff on there, dude. You know who he's most known for? Don't recognize the voice?
I don't know. I didn't.
It's Chad from Bleach. That was near Blood War.
Oh.
My man.
Oh, we got Chad for like an episode, and he said 5 lines, and
That's because
I watched
that's
the
all.
English dub.
That is all you need of Chad, because Chad is number 1. Sorry. Besides that, listen, Justus and I were talking about this earlier in the podcast. The first, what, you want to say something?
Have you seen the game or played the game?
Have I seen the game? No. Have I played the game? Still no.
Okay, neither have I. So both of us, to preface this, both of us have really no idea what's actually happening. We're just interested.
DJ was like, yeah, I played the game. I was like, can you watch the show and tell us if it's somewhat accurate? Nah. And I was like, this motherfucker said he wanted to watch the show, and now isn't going to watch the show.
He's like, oh, I've played all of them.
He's played all the games. He hasn't played it like all what DJ's like, yeah, there's like 25 different endings. You got to play it 25 times. Like, fuck you. Like, imagine if they make you watch the anime 25 times to get all the different endings on there. Maybe that's why they've delayed it, because there's going to be 25 episodes out at the same time, all with slightly different endings.
Stupid.
I don't know, man. Maybe
it would be so much work. You mean to tell me the season
This dude
finale,
did it for a game. He was like, yeah, you got to play all these endings for the spider web in a certain way.
that's different. You can make slight different detours.
It was even
in a
slight.
video
You
game.
made like big detours in there. That's a lot of work that you could put.
The
into
final episode being 25 separate episodes airing essentially at the same time, and like being in almost entirely
Quince
different.
did like 6.
Huh?
Quince did like 6 different like cut together things on there that you
but they were all within one movie, which would have been like an episode or 2 episodes.
Well, they could do it in this as well. They'll just have an extended episode at the very end on there. You got to have some imagination, Justus. Think about it. How cool would it be? It's like, yo, I'm going to watch the final episode. Which one? Final episode. What if it's the name? That's why it's version 1.1a. Season 2 is going to be the same thing with a slight variation. It's 1.2b. You see what I did there? You didn't see my 2b joke, did you?
I'm ignoring it.
It was a good joke, and you know it.
The animation is good
when
it's 2D.
Yeah. Listen,
the CG is rough.
That 3D animation is like Bionicle's 2002 movie animation. Like when the giant robot's moving, I'm like, listen, I know you don't want to animate all that. I wonder if it's the same animation as in the game, where that giant robot moving.
I don't think so. I think the game's got slightly better animation.
So
it is done by A1 too, and they did 86. Shut up. You make that joke every time. Why?
I made that joke once yesterday and once today. Not every time.
Almost every time. The studio has done like 86, which also had CG, but it looked really good.
Yeah, they also did stuff in like Chorus Recoil, right? I don't know if they did. They also did Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya is different, but I'm specific.
I mean, they just go to animation and Kaguya. Maybe that's where all their money went.
Well, I'm specifically talking about action-based stuff with mechs, which is why I brought up 86. They can do stuff that looks good. You can't exactly equate Kaguya and 86 and NieR Automata the same style.
Well, I was just saying that it shows that they drew really good. I'm pretty sure it's the same studio that does SAO.
Yeah, they also do SAO.
So, I mean, they can draw a lot of good stuff really good. They were just kind of lazy on this one.
Well, again, the specific thing that I'm talking about is they can do good CG. You've seen it in 86.
Yeah.
Whether it's drawing something or not, that's not what I'm really talking about.
Well, I'm just equating that they can do really good 2D and a mass scale on there, versus 86 still did a lot of CG with just their robots. Because when you go back and look, I mean, they're at the beginning of 86, you can definitely tell a difference in their CG. Like, especially when they're trying to find that, like, giant Harrier that's holding all of their robots in 86. That was a little hard to watch.
I mean, that wasn't as bad as some of the shit we got here, though.
Yeah, but
which, by the way, we do. God, I don't even know where to start. I don't understand. There's Yoraha, like they're androids that live on the moon.
Yorha,
yeah.
Yoraha.
Whatever.
No, civilization has moved to the... Did you pay attention to the little briefing that they had?
There's been lots of briefings. I don't know if you paid attention to all of the ending.
They specifically said Earth had advanced technology-wise, and a whole bunch of alien species arrived. They sent robots to the Earth, which is why there's a whole bunch of robots. Destroyed humans. Humans fled to the moon, live on the moon, and then they send robots... They send their automatas down to fight the robots, but there are human resistance still on the Earth fighting, and they occasionally go to help, but they can't help all of them, so that's why they have to pick and choose who they help.
Yeah.
It was like a whole 3-minute briefing that was pretty much on the screen as the main thing, which is why I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense what's happening.
Yes, but also at each ending when they do the puppet stuff, they keep doing excerpts of information stuff that's kind of pertinent as well. As specifically the first 2 episodes were like that, where you're like, oh, I need to pay attention to this, and you're like, fuck, the puppets are distracting. Because they also explain the fact that
you're distracted by the puppets?
Yeah, it's weird.
You just read the subtitles.
Yeah, I know, but
do you like puppet shows? And you're like, oh, puppets.
No, it's just jarring. You've gone from kind of shitty CG, really good 2D animation, and now it's like, here's some fucking puppets.
Puppets are like a post-credit thing. It's not.
Yeah, but the post-credit literally, even especially on the first episode, they talk about...
Didn't we watch another show that did puppets at the very end?
Yeah, there's been a couple of them like that, but specifically this one's threw me off.
So the puppets are throwing you off from the whole storyline.
No, at the end, there is also an exposition dump that the puppets give. Like in episode 1, they talk about how there are different storylines and endings for the game. And you may see some of those quote unquote endings or certain things play out within the regular series that wouldn't be the ending of this. That's shit that they literally talk about.
Yeah, they were talking about there's different endings, and part of the stuff that led to those endings that is here, but doesn't necessarily translate to being the same ending.
Yes. It's literally just what I said.
No, but you said that's how it ends. I'm saying that, but they said it doesn't lead to that ending.
Whatever. So there's certain information stuff like that that's important, but they do it and then they make a joke and then it's over, and it's like, okay, then
that's
you have
throwing
to.
You off?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of information and it's shit that you don't know.
Maybe
Like there's no like build up within
maybe it's
the
my
story.
big boy brain just processes it real well.
That's a fancy word. Never mind. We've
Also threw me off. They tried to play this emotional thing of 2B and them like, oh, they're gonna die. Yo, I uploaded our shit to the cloud. We're good. It's like, damn.
tap cubes together, blow up area.
Well,
Yeah. So
I feel like since they like basically every episode reanimate back in because they're basically dying every episode because they're a combat unit. It's like, oh, you guys could just keep making like explodey cubes and that's how you solve all your issues. Unless there's a radiation portion to it, which I have no idea if there is. I assume there is when they're touching cubes.
I have no idea. I know that at one point we follow essentially a robot that becomes slightly sentient.
It was a cool thing added in on there. The robot learned to become human.
Yeah, and then we eventually like rerun into those kind of robots, and they're like mimicking sex, and one of them's talking about how he loves boobies.
Yeah, my robot, my man, boobies.
And,
Listen, they tried to play the thing where all those robots are learning, and that brain is like a core thing, and it spits out a human android that has superhuman healing abilities that come out of certain things.
I'm very confused. And there's a character named Jackass.
Confusing.
Huh?
It's not even that confusing.
I mean, it is. Do you understand every single aspect of what's going on?
Just because I don't, that is because you're saying I should understand every single thing so it's not confusing. But I feel like it's a pretty simple thing because the robots are there. Because you got to think about what they did in the other episodes. They pointed out in the other episodes that they're reading books and they're learning. So you got to remember that info for the next episode when they're like, okay, they were reading books, they were learning. This episode, you see that they're actually putting in the action they're reading. So like when it comes to the plants or the shows, like some of the robots, when they go from bad robots to like just regular robots, they've developed high enough consciousness.
Yes.
Because they also point out that they're evolving and they're evolving back into almost a human form. And the reason why that whole like sex thing was a thing, it's them trying to make a human, which is why the robots run away. They get scared because they know we're supposed to be scared, but we don't know how. But the book said this is how we're supposed to be scared. So that's why they acted that way. Combined, they spit out a human, which is why the human wasn't hostile right off the bat. He's not a human. He's like an android thing, but he has like a human look to him.
I mean, that's just what androids are.
Yeah, but I was trying to differ him from the androids that we normally have. Like, he's like a super android with like...
That can teleport.
With actual like living skin. So he's like a... what is it? A Terminator? Like T-1000? Like actual self-healing skin. But then he can like... When he died, he then rebirthed himself. I guess it's the way to phrase it. So it's these little things that add up to the overarching story.
Yes. And that stuff I do get. There's certain aspects of the story that I feel like would, if you played the game, the context would make so much more sense. Even looking at certain people's comments with like the robot sex scene, that wasn't them reading and like mimicking whatever. Apparently that's a reference to a specific like thing that happens within the game. That's why they panned over to it. Like that's just a certain reference of a storyline.
But I thought they filled it nicely with like they were reading books. I mean, I agree to disagree. How about that?
Yeah, that's just based on people's responses to it because they like Florence, like whatever was a lot of their response. Like that specific shot was related to something else where it's like, oh, I'm out of my depth.
Besides being confusing on there, we should probably keep going. We're basically running out of time on there now. It was pretty cool. I think the animation fights are pretty cool. I think the music's really good. I think the characters fit very well with the game on there.
The music is really good.
They do... I feel like Lily might be a robot of some sort.
I'm not sure.
I mean, they make it seem like Lily's that resistance leader gal. I don't know. She gets hurt, but she doesn't play it off like she's really, really hurt. But they also have those, what were they, healing?
Maintenance bots.
Maintenance bots or whatever. Were they maintenance bots? They had I thought they had another name for them. Basically, they're healing bots.
Yeah.
On there. And they make the thing of like, oh yeah, they wanted to be on the front line. It's like, but did they really? It's like, yep, because basically another Rollback kind of wanted them to be. I don't know. It's a whole weird thing on there. But humanity is fighting back, but they do make mention of, you have the Automatas from Yorha. Yorha. But they only abide for the greater good of humanity, but it seems like they self-operate, but they haven't really pointed out how there's humans there. So far, you only see the base. They only pay attention to, like, the World Council. So they came down to help, but they're just investigating, and now you get this next big fight.
Yeah. And now it's delayed. So we'll just... I don't know when it's going to be back.
10 years from now. 10 years, 10 months, 10 days.
God, that would suck. But we don't know when it's going to be re-airing.
There's like 2 shows we're watching that are like that now that are kind of like indefinitely delayed or just delayed till we know further.
Yeah, it's due to COVID. So one of them on our C list, we may just not watch because there's no point in getting 3 episodes in talking about it and then still having nothing.
Nah, man, if it's replace it with something better.
If it's all COVID-related delays, like the Uncle in Another World or whatever, that was delayed till next season. So
hey, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
I won't want trouble with them. That'll be a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
No point in them worrying about it.
But that's about it.
That's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.